I told you that right now, right beneath your feet, Newcastle upon Tyne is quietly transforming street by street, brick by brick. Welcome back to your fortnightly Newcastle construction and restoration update, where we visit all the usual spots, uncover what's changed and track the progress shaping the future of the city. Also this week, I have an update on the Gateshead Arena, so stay tuned to the end of the video for that. Every 2 weeks, this site seems to change completely. Steelwork is rising, lift cores are taking shape, temporary staircases are going in, and what was once an open construction site is quickly becoming one of the biggest students' accommodation developments in Newcastle. This week, we're starting as usual at Castle Leazes, where the new students' accommodation for Newcastle University, in collaboration with Unite students, is really beginning to take shape, and the amount of progress since our last visit is quite astounding. So let's take a closer look. As we arrive on site, the first thing that stands out is just how much steelwork has gone up over the past fortnight. The first block, which has been under construction for the last few months, is now looking more substantial, and the structure is becoming much easier to read from ground level. On the outside of the first block, a temporary staircase has now been fitted to the structure. This will make access much easier for the crews working across the different levels of the building. And as we look towards the top of the steel frame, you can see workers continuing with the next stages of the steelwork. It is always impressive to see how coordinated the site like this has to be, with teams working at height, materials being moved into position, and the building gradually extending upwards and outwards. Moving towards the back of the site, this is where we previously been watching those concrete core lift shafts take shape. Most of these cores now look either completed or very close to completion. These lift and stair cores are a key part of the development because they form a solid backbone of the building before the steel frame continues around them. And just beyond the completed cores, you can also see the start of others beginning to rise from the ground. This gives us a clear sign of where the next phases of the development are now beginning to move forward. As we move round to the front of the structure, the amount of new steelwork since the last update is really noticeable. The frame is now extending out from the first building that went up, and the site is starting to spread across a much wider area. From this angle, you can really appreciate the pace of the construction. Every visit brings something new, and every fortnight the site seems to look more complete. Further round at the front, more steelwork is going up around the core, adding even more shape and definition to the building. You can also see steel sheeting lying ready to be laid out for the floors. This is another important stage as it begins to turn the steel frame into usable floor space. Taking one final look across Castle Leazes, the scale of development is now clear. The completed and rising cores, the expanding steel frame, the temporary access staircase and the floor decking ready to go in all show just how much progress has been made, and if the last few updates are anything to go by, there'll be plenty more to see on our next visit. We are now down on Leazes Park Road, where the new students' accommodation is really starting to take shape. Starting at the front of the building, one of the biggest changes is that white fence has now completely gone. That gives us a much clearer view of the front elevation, and you can really see how close this part of the project is getting to completion. Work outside has also moved to the pavement area. This section was removed when the essential works began around 2 years ago, and it now looks like they're finally preparing to replace it. It is one of those changes that might seem small at first, but it makes a big difference. Now let's move round the back and see what's happening there. As you can see, this side looks more complete with every visit. In the last few updates, we've watched the retaining wall gradually be bricked over, and now another detail has appeared. A black fence has started to be installed along the top, giving this area a much more finished look. There's also been progress with the door that was lying on the ground in the last video. That has now been fitted, which is another sign that the external work is moving into its final stages. There is still some brickwork left to complete, with missing bricks visible in several locations. But compared with the previous visits, the rear of the building is looking far more advanced. Looking lower down, you can see they've started putting block paving in front of some of the doorways. This is another important finishing detail because these areas will form part of the access routes around the building. Once more the pavement goes in, the rear section should begin to look much cleaner and more complete. There are also some metal rails visible, which look like they could be for a stairway or access structure at some point. That'll be something to keep an eye on in the next update. Moving across to the main entrance, this area now looks almost complete. All the doors now appear to have been fitted, and the plastic sheeting that was covering parts of the entrance have now been removed. That really changes the look of this section and gives us a much better idea of how the entrance will appear once the building is fully finished. Now moving round to the Leazes Park Road side. This section is also looking mostly complete. There is still one bit of scaffolding remaining up in the top corner, so that will need to come down before we get the full finished view. But apart from that, this side of the building looks very close to completion. Just like at the front, it also looks like they're preparing the area for new paving to go in. Once that is done, it should really tidy up the street level appearance and help the building blend back into the surrounding area. It is interesting to look back at how much the site has changed. For a long time, this was a place of fences, scaffolding, missing pavements, exposed walls and unfinished entrances. But now, visit by visit, those temporary construction features are disappearing. We are now heading down to Pottery Lane to check on the latest progress at what is now called the Potter's Wharf development. Starting up here on the Regeneration Bridge, you get one of the best views across the development site. From this angle you can really see how the project is progressing with every update. Certain areas are looking more complete and the overall shape of the development is becoming much easier to make out. Looking towards the back of the site, there does not seem to be anything noticeably new since the last update, so we'll quickly move on from there. But at the tallest part of the structure, looking through the scaffolding, it appears that more brickwork has now been completed. That's one of those details that can be easy to miss from a distance, but when you compare it to the previous visits, you can see the building is gradually moving closer to its finished look. Now let's head down onto Pottery Lane and take a look from ground level. There is still plenty of metal framing lying around, which looks like to be for the internal walls. So though more of the exterior is starting to look complete, there's clearly still a lot of work going on inside the building. One of the biggest changes since the last update is the main entrance. All of the scaffolding has now been removed from this section, giving us a much clearer view of what looks like the nearly finished entrance. This really changes how the front of the development looks from the street. Instead of being hidden behind scaffolding, you can now start to get a proper sense of how this entrance will appear once the project is complete. Moving along the front, there have also been panels fitted below the windows of what I've been calling Block 2. And with almost every update recently, more scaffolding has come down, revealing more of the finished building underneath. This is the stage where the development starts to feel much more real. For a long time, you mainly see steel, scaffolding and materials, but once the scaffolding starts to disappear, the finished design begins to show through. Looking right over towards the back of the site, there's still a lot of building materials staged and ready to be used. The groundworks that we saw starting in the last update are also still ongoing. There is still activity around the street as well, with the utility works continuing along Pottery Lane. And finally, the electrical feed trench is still open to the elements, as it has been in the last few updates. So while there's been visible progress on the building itself, especially with the scaffolding and entrance area, there's still plenty of infrastructure and finishing work happening around the site. Have a look at this. Pilgrim Place at Collier Square is really starting to transform now. From new brickwork climbing higher up the structure to glass panels stretching across the front, this development is beginning to show what the finished building could look like, starting down at the bottom end of the site, looking through the railings and the scaffolding. Straight away you can see brickwork beginning to rise up along this side of the building. This is one of the big visible changes since the last update, and it really gives the structure a more finished feel compared with the exposed frame we've seen before. As we look further up towards the top of the structure, more window frames have now gone in. Lower down, the windows are looking much more complete, with panels fitted between the glass sections. It's these smaller details that start to change the whole impression of the site. Looking right across the elevation, most of the panels now appear to be installed on this side of the development. This building is starting to take on its final shape, and you can really see the pattern of the facade coming together. The combination of glass, window frames and panel work giving us a clearer idea of how the frontage will eventually look. Now looking into the gap between the two buildings, the glasswork is stretching all the way to the front. There's a clear contrast between the two buildings here, and that difference in design makes this part of the development quite interesting to watch as it progresses. Moving around to Warsack Street, the glass and window frame installation is still ongoing. You can see some of the frames being lifted into place, ready to be installed. This side is still very much active, with work continuing across the building face. It's always worth checking each angle of a development like this, because progress can look very different depending on where you were standing. From the front, parts of the building are already looking much more complete, while around here you can still see the installation work happening in real time. Moving around to the back, it's a similar story to the front. More glasswork has been completed, and a lot more window frames have now been fitted to the other building as well. The progress is becoming much more noticeable across the whole site, not just on one elevation. The brickwork we started to see in the last update has now climbed higher up the structure, which is another sign that the external finish is moving forward steadily. And finally, down at the bottom, brickwork has now started to be laid in this area too, so we're seeing progress not only higher up the structure but also at ground level. What's interesting about this stage of the build is that we're now moving beyond the basic structure. Earlier updates were about the frame, the scale and the shape of the development, but now with the brickwork, glass, panels and window frames going in, we're starting to see the character of Pilgrim Place emerge. And now for a quick update on the Northumberland Street pavement improvement works. And as you can see, everything looks pretty much the same as it was in the last update, with several areas right down the middle and down the bottom of the street still to complete. Bearing in mind this should have been finished in April, and we're now into June and it's still ongoing, but it is getting closer to completion. Now for the news about the Gateshead Arena, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. The long-promised Gateshead Keys Arena, planned for a prime site between the Glasshouse and the Baltic Art Gallery, has been talked about for years, but today the land is still empty. No arena, no construction, just delays, rising costs, and the site many locals now see as a major eyesore on one of Gateshead's most visible waterfront locations. And now, with Reform UK taking control of Gateshead Council after last month's local elections, the future of the project could be hanging in the balance. The party says it wants to put an end to what it calls vanity projects in Gateshead. That phrase alone is significant. It suggests the new leadership may be willing to challenge projects that were previously seen as central to the council's regeneration ambitions, and the arena appears to be one of the biggest decisions now facing the new administration. Reform's new leadership has warned that it may have to make uncomfortable decisions about the future of the arena project. That does not necessarily mean the arena is definitely cancelled, but it does mean the project is under serious scrutiny. The question now seems to be whether the New Look Council believes the arena still represents good value for money. If they decide it does, the project could continue in some form, but if they decide the costs, risks or delays are too great, Gateshead Council could potentially pull away from the vision altogether. So is this a serious investment in Gateshead's future, or has it become an expensive vanity project? Please let me know in the comments below your thoughts. And that brings us to the end of this update. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a comment with your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think about the projects we've covered today. And don't forget to give the video a massive thumbs up, because it really helps the channel grow. If you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to 55 Degrees North and hit that bell notification for when I release more videos. A massive thank you for watching. I will see you next time, right here on 55 Degrees North.